Hey everybody, good Labor Day to you. Wanted to give a quick update on the tropics because we do have some systems out there of note. On this world view of the Pacific and the Atlantic, we're going to start on the left-hand side. We have what's left of Javier. Javier is no more. It was a tropical storm, got close to the Baja California, moving on out. We have Tropical Storm K down here, which is getting better organized, and it could be a hurricane, maybe even a Category 2 hurricane, although it might wrap in some dry air from the looks of it. But it's going to mix out probably an eye and become a hurricane. And even though it appears to be moving away, it could actually move more right and closer to the Baja, and we have tropical storm advisories out for that. We have Earl here, which is a tropical storm which is struggling, but it's still a moderate to strong tropical storm, forecast to be a major hurricane, but thankfully turn out, although if you're in Bermuda, watch it. And then, of course, we have Hurricane Danielle, which got to about 90 miles an hour, a strong Cat 1. Looks like it might have peaked out, but still impressive. And a wave that's just left Africa that could become a system and move on towards the northwest. So let's get started first with our Earl, which is closest to home in the Atlantic. Here it is as of 11 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. It was at 21.5 north, 65.3 west, winds of 65, moving north-northwest at 5, and there are indications it's kind of locating more in a northerly fashion. So this turn to the east might not happen until it gets to 30 north, but it should begin, it shouldn't get much further west. That's what I'm trying to say. It is forecast, as you can see, to become a hurricane by midweek, and then a major hurricane by the weekend, at least a Category 3. Based on some of the computer models, this could be a very large and powerful major hurricane, but the great thing about it'll be out at sea away from land, although right now, like I said, Bermuda, you are in the cone of uncertainty, so sometime between Thursday morning and Friday night would be probably the closest approach. Now here's Earl on the satellite, the visible satellite, and you can see the wind shear affecting it. Notice these clouds here blowing on off right into it. It is still being sheared by that tropical upper tropospheric trough, the TUT, and that's why you see it struggling here. We have a very powerful circulation center trying to develop, but the thunderstorms are blowing off here to the northeast because of the wind shear. Nevertheless, it does have a potent low-level center, and once it gets a little bit more favorable environment with the wind shear, convection will get over it, and we will see Earl become a hurricane. Here's the computer model guidance, and you can see some of them yesterday were trying to take it, some of the ensemble members, back to the west a little bit and get close to the east coast. Now it appears likely it's straight north and then northeast and out to sea, but with Bermuda possibly in the crosshairs. So we're going to watch this very carefully. The wind shear, as I mentioned, is a problem. You can see just shredding it right there. The fact that it's held on and developed as it has is a miracle, but this should lessen as it gets to the north, and then especially the northeast. It should have a better environment further north, and you can see Danielle, that donut up there, and that's a Category 1 hurricane. Here's the latest on Danielle as of 3 p.m. Greenwich time. It was at 40.2 north, 43.9 west, winds of 85, had been up to 90, moving north-northeast at 8 very slowly. So by the weekend, this thing should still be way out here in the North Atlantic. Geographically, you can see the Azores here. This is Greenland up here. And then we have Ireland and Northern Ireland, and then the UK with Scotland there, and obviously Portugal, Spain, and France. I think I did okay in geography. It's not often you see hurricanes making their way to Europe, although a lot of times post-tropical cyclones and extratropical storms do make their way to Europe. So again, watch it if you're here in Europe. You could be impacted by high swells at the very least from Danielle. There's Danielle looking like a fat donut there. Classic, ragged, shaggy Category 1 hurricane. Now, this is the GEFS ensembles. You can see it has another system forming off Africa while Earl gets out of here. But it does show, watch here, another wave leaving further south. And some of the long-range models take this one close to the southeast U.S. or the Caribbean as a hurricane. Maybe even a strong hurricane. And if you look at the date, by then it would be, what, September 19th? Look, Hurricane George took a track all the way across the Atlantic, and that didn't develop until September 15th. So there is still time, and you don't want to take your eye off the ball. Looking at Africa right now, there's our wave that just left. This one would probably remain weaker and out, but this could be the one over land still blowing up. This could be the one that they are making a storm down the road. So we're going to watch this all very carefully. K in the Pacific as of 12 p.m. MDT, you could see it was at 65 miles per hour, moving west at 15.5 north, 106.8 west. And we do have those tropical storm watches for areas of the Baja because K should get pretty close between Wednesday night and Saturday morning. It's going to kind of snake around here while weakening. It's expected to peak as a strong hurricane, 100 miles an hour, 105, before its close approach, but it could get close enough to have an impact. You can see, even though it's forecast to stay offshore, gusts to tropical storm force and rough surf along the coast expected through Tuesday. Heavy rainfall could lead to flash flooding, landslides across the Mexican Riviera and western Mexico. Tropical storm conditions are possible by early Wednesday, and that's why the watch has been issued for the southern Baja of California. And number 3 is expected to be a hurricane when it nears the central Baja later this week, and there is uncertainty with the long-range track and intensity, but an increasing risk of significant wind, surf, and rainfall impacts. And you could have a tropical storm or hurricane watch for that area further north by later today or tomorrow. Again, here's K on the satellite. You can see it's trying to wrap around an eye there, but again, it's looking like it's drawn in a little dry air. Sometimes they sputter around 65 miles per hour before finally becoming a hurricane and then taking off. So I'm Mike Nasa with the latest on the tropics. We'll keep an eye on K as it gets closer to the Baja. Earl should become a powerful hurricane, could get close to Bermuda, but should move out. Really, for the Atlantic, the next real threat might be anything off Africa in the next 10 days, which, if this squirrely system moves out, Danielle moves out, Earl moves out, we would open the door for something coming further south around September 15th or 20th. We'll watch that very carefully as hurricane season 2022 moves along. I'm Mike Naso, and I'll talk to you guys next time.